Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about how to use BlueSeer to schedule your shop floor for its production of an item, how to create a work ticket, and then how to produce that from the work ticket, produce your manufactured item from the work ticket. We're going to go through the simulation of creating an item, creating an order of the item, and then scheduling that order for your shop floor, printing out a work ticket, and then closing the operation by posting production against that job number. Okay, so let's create an item. Item menu, item maintenance. And we're going to create a manufactured item here. Click new. This is our manufactured item. Okay, we're going to choose class code of M since it is a manufactured item. And we're going to choose a routing of default. Now you can choose your own routings, your own work center, but this routing is just a default routing that has one operation. This operation can be considered assembly, or it could be considered packaging, whatever you want to simulate it as. Um, Along with these two, class code and routing informations, you need to also click scheduled and plan orders if this is to be scheduled on the shop floor and uh, work tickets to be created. So click add. Before we do that, let's actually create a selling price too, since we're going to create an order. The selling prices, we'll just call it $5. You can then click add. Now, there is one other thing. Since you created a manufactured item, typically you would have an operation, you'd have components, raw material that's consumed by this item, and then you'd roll cost associated with that. Right now, you have a current cost of just the operational cost, which is the labor and the burden. You need to have a standard cost. So we're not going to go through the motions of creating a bill of material for this guy, but we are going to roll costs so that you can actually produce the item in this simulation. So we're going to go to inventory, um, item menu, cost maintenance, and we're just going to select this item, and you notice that the roll cost and standard cost. So we're going to create a standard cost by clicking roll. Now we have a standard cost. So if we go back to the item again, our item should be prepped and ready to be scheduled, to have a work ticket printed against it, and to be produced. The cost of the standard cost is now $250, and it matches your current cost. So this item is prepped now to have a schedule and a work ticket created. So now let's go create an order for this guy. So we're going to go order maintenance, new. We're going to choose the default build to and CAD and ship to. Put in a PO number of test. Click lines, and we're going to create 50 pieces. Click add item, come back to main, and then click add to commit the order. Now we have an order for the item that we want to manufacture. So let's go to inventory. One step after you created the order is, an order is essentially a demand. You can have planned orders or what you print work tickets against. You can have demand or planned orders based on demand, or you can have planned orders based on forecast, and you can have planned orders based on some miscellaneous planned maintenance. But here we created an order. We're going to do demand to plan. The site that we did the order under was site 1000, so we're going to commit. And we now should have a planned order to have a job number associated with it. So go to inventory, schedule menu, scheduler. The scheduler is essentially where you schedule any planned orders that have been created. So if you simply click run, it'll show any orders with due dates. This entire menu is driven based on the due date of the order or due date of the planned miscellaneous or due date of the plan of the forecast. But in this situation, this job number, this planned work order number, was created from demand with a due date of 0903. Okay. So the only two things you have to add here really is the cell, the operation that's being performed at. Let's say it's operation GG, for lack of anything better. And we're going to schedule a quantity of 50. Now you can also go ahead and key in the schedule date. If you do not key in a scheduled date, then it'll choose the due date that this planned order is due. Okay, once you've got that two pieces of information, click commit, come back and click run, and you'll notice that it has been scheduled. So at this point, you can actually print out a work ticket to get to the shop floor. for 50 pieces, which is what you scheduled it for. So you click print, and this is the print, the work order that has the job number here in barcode, and it has the cell that we decided to make it at, which is GG. Scroll over, there it is, the quantity, and just miscellaneous information regarding this work order. So that's how you can print it out. You can actually save this to a PDF if you want, if you like as well. But normally you print it out and you give it to the workstation. They do the assembly or the packaging or whatever, and then they will produce this item. So it's essentially the production of the item. So we're going to simulate the production as well, which will, once you produce the quantity from this work ticket, it'll close this scheduled planned order. So let's go produce the. By the way, before we move from here, you can, if you have multiple planned orders, which you most likely will, you can sort by any one of these columns as well to isolate which ones are open, which ones have been scheduled, which ones have not been scheduled. And you can also void if you made a mistake on the job number, you don't want it. You click void, and it should set the demand back to where it can be scheduled again. Okay, so let's produce this item with job number 100-251. So normally at the workstation, they would go to this menu, and they would scan in the barcode 10024. We're going to enter it just to simulate it, 251. And then it'll come up with the only operation there. You can report production against operations. If you had 4 operations, it would be you would produce the item at each operation. In this case, we only have 1 operation, quantity 50, so we're going to click commit. And you now have committed that planned work ticket and indicated that you have produced those parts. So if you go back to the scheduler menu, you'll see that the work order has been closed, and you can no longer do any activity against this work order. More importantly, you have produced 50 pieces, so your quantity on hand for this item should have gone up by 50. So go to item menu, item maintenance, find our item, and we see that the quantity on hand is indeed 50. So that's essentially just a quick run through the scheduling mechanism, how to create a work ticket, how to produce that work ticket, and then show the entire scenario for scheduling that work ticket. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to reach out to us at BlueSeer.com, and our contact information is provided there. Thank you.